From Philly's iconic roast pork sandwich to New Mexico's beloved green chili cheeseburger, every region of this great nation takes pride in its signature sandwiches, and I've had the pleasure to try many. Here in Massachusetts, a classic sandwich is making a comeback in Brookline Village. Located right outside of Boston, Brookline offers small-town charm just outside the city, with a local cinema, quaint side streets, and of course, local mom-and-pop shops. Cutty's is one of those family-run joints that sells some of the best sandwiches in town. Owners Charles and Rachel Kelsey are down-to-earth folks who just love a good sandwich. They also happen to be two of my oldest friends. We all worked together as recipe developers at America's Test Kitchen, where the two met and fell in love with each other and with sandwiches.
People completely underestimate the art of the sandwich. There's so much thought that goes into it, and so those layers do matter.
This artistry is on full display across the Cutty's menu, but I'm here for one sandwich in particular, their version of the New England Spuckie. But first, I had to ask.
Can you tell me exactly what a spucky is?
So a spucky is an old Boston term for a sub. Apparently, it comes from the word spuckadella, which is the name of the roll that they make, these torpedo-shaped rolls.
I think our older customers know, and they get excited to come in and see it on the menu, and it reminds them of their childhood. A lot of people don't know what a spucky is, and we've had a whole bunch of mispronunciations of the word. Spuckle.
Spunkle.
Sporky, spunky. People say all different things.
Yeah, you should consider changing the name to Spunkle. I like it.
You know what they say, spunkle sells.
Traditional versions of the sandwich feature deli meats, cheese, vegetables, and dressing piled high on a long roll. But Charles and Rachel put their own spin on it and subbed out the deli meats for roasted eggplant. I followed Charles back into the kitchen to see how their version comes together. Charles and Rachel put a lot of thought and care into their ingredients, and they often source them from local farms and purveyors.
All right, and what about the olive oil? What kind do you use here?
Okay, so this is from a family from the North Shore of Massachusetts. It's a Turkish family, and they have orchards in Turkey,
Wow.
and they make olive oil.
The star of this sandwich is the eggplant, which they slice thinly and coat with that special olive oil.
Obviously, the oil is going to help flavor the eggplant, but also help with the browning? Or?
Yeah, so you do want to put enough on there so that it doesn't dry out. You don't want to put so much on that it's greasy, but that's perfect. Just 2 or 3 swipes with the oil and you're good. Now a little bit of salt. Again, I'm not putting a ton on, and I'm not going to put any on the other side.
Once the eggplant is coated and salted, it roasts and rests. Then it's time for assembly. We start with the bread, which comes from a local bakery that Charles and Rachel have been using for years. The bread is washed in that same bright, grassy olive oil, so you get a nice hit of it with every bite.
I love that. There's nothing better than just olive oil saturated bread.
Yeah, it's really the little things.
With the bread properly seasoned, we add a punchy carrot salad.
It's a play on a muffaletta salad, the large format sandwich from New Orleans.
Right.
It's got shredded carrot, roasted red peppers, olives, a little garlic, some secret spices that I can't mention here.
Charles then shingles the eggplant in a single layer before adding some fresh mozzarella.
This is awesome mozzarella. It comes from a company in Connecticut. They're making a mozzarella and ricotta for, I think, 100 years.
I love how much attention to detail you give to each element of the sandwich here, from the bread to the salad, the mozzarella, the eggplant.
We really want to make people's day. I mean, for not a ton of money, you can make somebody's day so much more amazing by having the bite into a sandwich like this.
Yeah.
Let's go give it a taste.
All right. I just love every element of the sandwich is absolutely pitch perfect. The crunch and the sweetness from the carrots, but mild smokiness from the roasted peppers, the brininess of the olives, the hit of garlic. It's really just fantastic. And even with the eggplant cooked like this, you don't miss meat at all in the sandwich.
Yeah,
This eggplant spuckie, hands down, one of my favorite sandwiches of all time. Thank you for taking the time to show me how to make it.
Got it.
Charles and Rachel don't take life too seriously, except for when it comes to sandwiches. Their approach to food is infused with a playful curiosity and genuine thoughtfulness behind each ingredient, and their care and attention to detail is apparent in every bite.
Love what you're watching? Take your cooking to the next level with our Essential membership. Get instant access to thousands of recipes, tips, techniques, product reviews, and step-by-step videos. Our Members app allows you to search by ingredient, set dietary preferences, and save your favorite recipes. For those looking to level up, our newest feature, ATK Classes, offers more in-depth instruction led by ATK experts, so you can gain greater confidence in the kitchen. Start your free trial by visiting the App Store or going to americastestkitchen.com/YouTube today. It has been so awesome to watch Rachel and Charles build that business from scratch. And I have such fond memories of all of us cooking and developing recipes in the kitchen.
I know all of you helped me get my feet wet when I started developing recipes here at the kitchen. So,
I remember.
Yeah, I was just a wee lad. So I love their sandwich shop. I love everything on the menu. But for me, perhaps one of the greatest accomplishments they've made is this eggplant sandwich they have. All right, so let's get started. We're going to slice up 1.5 pounds of eggplant into 1/2-inch thick slices. So like you saw at Cutty's, they use a machine to cut the eggplant super thin. But at home, I think it's a little bit easier to cut the eggplant thicker in about 1/2-inch thick slices, which come across nice and meaty in the sandwich. So 1/2-inch slices. All right, so we have those sliced. We're gonna throw these onto a sheet pan lined with aluminum foil, spray with a little bit of nonstick cooking spray. We'll just lay these on there. Okay, so we have the eggplant laid out here. And we're gonna brush the eggplant on both sides with a couple tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And this is just to help with the browning in the oven. And eggplant and olive oil are really super close friends. All right, so we have eggplant brushed with olive oil on the first side. And we have about 3/4 teaspoon of salt here. It's table salt. We'll sprinkle this. And we'll do the same on the second side. You just really need to encourage the browning with this. All right, and the remainder of the 3/4 teaspoon of table salt goes on top. Okay, so that's seasoned on the second side. And now we're gonna throw the eggplant under the broiler. So we have the oven rack adjusted to 6 inches from the broiler element. The broiler's set to high. We're gonna let it go for a good 14 minutes or so.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna flip it about halfway through. What we're looking for is nicely browned eggplant that's really nice and tender and cooked through.
Okay.
Okay, so while the eggplant is broiling, we're going to work on the olive salad.
Oh, this is the best part of the sandwich.
It absolutely is. I love this salad. So at the restaurant, they use green olives. We're going to use Kalamata olives. We just happen to like the pungency that they offer. So we have 3/4 cup of Kalamata olives. These are pitted. And this is about 1/2 cup of roasted red bell peppers. We've just kind of coarsely chopped. 1/2 cup of parsley leaves. A teaspoon of red wine vinegar. 1 garlic clove. 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and we have a 1/4 teaspoon of table salt in that. And we're just gonna pulse this until it's nicely coarsely chopped. And that takes about 10 to 12 pulses. About like that, I think. Okay?
Nice.
It's all chopped up, but you can still identify the pieces. We're gonna add that to our bowl here. So now we have a cup of shredded carrots. We've shredded these on the large holes of a box grater. It's about 2 carrots. And then to that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. All right, it has been 14 minutes. We flipped the eggplant once.
Those look good, Bryan.
This is exactly what we want. Nicely browned, fully tender. All right, so we'll take these off of our tray here, and we're going to recycle our tray to toast our bread. So these are the rolls that they use at Cutty's. These are ciabatta sandwich rolls. Perhaps my favorite sandwich roll
So good.
ever. So we're just going to split these in half lengthwise.
If you didn't have it, you could obviously just buy a bigger ciabatta loaf.
Exactly, yeah, you totally could. Or, you know, just whatever sub roll you like to use. This recipe makes enough for 4 sandwiches, but I'm just going to make the 2 for us. So I'm going to brush this bread with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So we're just going to throw this bread underneath the broiler for about 2 to 5 minutes until it's nicely toasted. And you have to pay attention because it goes from 0 to 60 in no time at all.
All right.
All right, and that bread is perfect, nicely toasted. So with that, we're going to add fresh mozzarella, as if the sandwich couldn't get any better.
I know,
so
right?
We're gonna use about 3 slices, about 1/4 inch thick or so per sandwich. We're gonna add about 6 tablespoons or so per sandwich. And we're going to divide it evenly between the 2 slices of bread. Then we're going to layer on about 3 pieces of mozzarella per sandwich, nicely shingled. Mm-hmm. And then about 3 pieces of eggplant per sandwich as well. Now we just have to cap our sandwiches. Give it a light press right across the middle. Oh, so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, well, cheers.
Yeah, cheers. It's just like I remember. The flavor of the relish, there's so much going on. The sweetness of the carrots and that little bit of crunch, and then that creamy eggplant, and then the smooth, mild mozzarella and the crunchy bread.
You're making me hungry, jeez.
Man, is that good. For full episodes of your favorite cooking shows, head over to ATK's Full Episodes channel on YouTube. You can stream complete seasons of America's Test Kitchen, Cook's Country, and more. See you there.